Sean, any meaningful recovery would have to depend on the jobs picture, the employment picture, and whether companies themselves are confident enough, optimistic enough to start spending in a big way again. What trends are you seeing? Are you seeing any evidence of capital spending from companies? Are they starting to invest again in a big way?
Yeah, this is, I think, the biggest thing that's missing, and it's not really going to come back in 2021. You're probably going to see some CapEx related to fixing parts of the factory that's broken, but to kind of reinvest and restart new factories. I think that's going to be lagging. And I think that's where the growth surprise is going to be more on the downside than on the upside this year. And then when you get to wages as well, most of the world is still service oriented. So are they going to start to hire more people in this COVID environment and push up wages? So that's why I think people are worried a bit about inflation starting end of this year or next year. But I think they will be disappointed that inflation won't be that high, and central banks will be worrying about this in the second half again.
Yeah, in fact, you're calling for debt deflation, which is interesting given all that money supply out there.
I think if you ask central bankers, I think they probably find it harder to create inflation now. And if anything, they're still worried about the downside risk than the upside risk to inflation. Because we are still in this overcapacity area. And with COVID around, you're not going to get a massive restart. So at least for 2021, I think it's still worried that too much debt and too much money printing will not create enough inflation, and that we are worried about deflation. I think that's not really priced into markets right now. And I think that's the biggest downside risk I'm worried about this year.
Right. Very quickly, we need to wrap up this interview, but when would that come to the fore, this deflation risk?
Yeah, I think it's more towards the end of second quarter. As you get this first quarter fiscal stimulus coming in the US, you'll get some elation, and the vaccine coming through will provide some upside growth in the first quarter, early second quarter. But then as you get towards the summer and you realize that growth isn't that high and the inflation's not coming back, that's when I think you'll see the disappointment.